YouTube. If you've looked at my channel, you definitely see that I do like Logitech a lot. I love their quality, their craftsmanship, uh, and their pricing is decent. It's not really anything outrageous. And right here, some of my favorite mice with the 703, the wireless G Pro, dating back all the way to the 303, the G Pro wired. I have a G900 somewhere around here. Um, but one mouse from Logitech that I just could never really get into, that's going to be this guy. This hulking mass of plastic, the G502. This guy right here is probably one of Logitech's most popular mouse ever. When Ninja of Twitch and Fortnite fame came out and said that he used it, Logitech sold 10,000 of these units the next week. It's insane how popular this mouse is. Even before Ninja came out and said, what equipment he does use, the 502 has always been popular. So much so, they've made 3 versions of it now. 2014, they had the Core, and it was limited with your color choices for lighting, and it had a blue thumb rest. And then in 2016, they made the Spectrum, which brought the 3366 sensor and RGB. And now, yes, you guessed it, 2 years later, they re-release the 502. Now with the Hero sensor, a better cable, and new logo, really. They did a rebranding about a year and a half ago from their old G logo. So is it worth someone who's already got the 502 to get the new one? It really comes down to how important the sensor is to you, because I will say that if you already have a mouse, any mouse, I don't care if it's Logitech or not, and it has a 3366 sensor in it, there's really no reason for you to get the Hero. The Hero, from my understanding, is able to read your movement on different color surfaces, which is nice, but for the most part, everyone usually goes with black. And on top of that, it's 16,000 DPI, which is absolutely insane. The next question is, well, if you didn't put a paracord or Paraflex mouse cable on your existing 502, then is it worth getting this? I still say no, even though they did trim this down a lot. It's not as bad as, say, something like this right here, which were the old ones. You can tell how disgusting and just destroyed this cable is. They definitely trimmed it down on this one, but I still say you can see the stiffness in it. They could have done a better job with it. They don't really classify this mouse as like their esports lineup. Yeah, a lot of people within the professional scene do use this mouse, but I think that's why they didn't really go with a braided cable. That's going to be something along the lines of a competitive nature, or even the new cable from the G Pro wired, the small rubberized, that I really like a lot. And outside of that, you do have your standard logo. But going over the mouse itself, you're looking at 121 grams without the cable. With the cable, you're looking at 125 grams. Okay, so it is a heavy mouse, the same weight of our Steel series that we just recently reviewed. From there, though, you also have your your height of 5.2 inches, and then you also have your depth of 1.57 inches and your width of almost 3 inches. Honestly, it's the same exact shape from the previous entries, okay? It's really just the internals and the cable that's really been changed around. You still have your cavity where you can put different weights inside, and that is this guy right here. So when you open up your box, you're going to get not only the mouse, but you're going to get 5 different weights. And the nice thing about this is you can customize it. If you want it more in the back, just put 2 or 3 in the back. You can put them on the side, you can put one up front. So it really comes down to just personalization, what you really want and what you prefer. So always having options is always going to be a better feature to have than not having it at all. It is 11 buttons, so you have your DPI shifter right here, and this is awesome. So for instance, I was playing that Ring of Elysium with friends, and if you hold it down, I can set it within software to just lower my DPI all the way down, and I can move a lot more sensitive when I'm streaming. Excuse me. And so then from there, you have your up and down button. This is your DPI changer. Granted, you can always customize that. That does not need to stay exactly what it is in the software. You have the new updated Logitech G logo. You have your, I think this is your profile changer, but you can also customize this. And then one thing I loved about the G900 and G903 is going to be the wheel. Now, this wheel is metal. The structure of it, I'm not a big fan of, but the feature of being able to click this in and you get the hyper spin, which is really nice. I mean, this is like the OG of fidget spinners. It's just something to kind of tinker with, or if you really are editing and you need to drastically move something, you can hit this on the fly and go about your way. So then, of course, you have your mouse 1 and 2. And yeah, the biggest thing too, the one thing that the Mamba wireless had removed that I really like is the tilt feature. So you can actually tilt this. And for instance, just to give you an idea on how people will use this, when Ninja did use this mouse, I think he uses the final mouse now, when he would build, he would actually just do this. You know, he didn't have to lose his grip a lot. He would simply just turn the tilt wheel, tilt it in, and you're good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the G-Hub software. All right, guys, so this is the Logitech G-Hub software, and it's going to recognize everything that you have plugged in to your computer. As you can see, it's got my camera, it's got my speakers, as well as the G502, and I do have another mouse plugged in charging. But with the G502 Hero, you're going to click on it, and you're going to have your light sync option here. Now, your primary is going to be your DPI, I guess, the thing that really tells you what DPI setting you have. And you can have that under a couple different options of fixed cycle breathing, screen sampler, audio visualizer. I can pair this mouse with my G560 speakers. So while the mouse doesn't have a lot of RGB options and not a lot to show for it, it is really cool that I can kind of pair everything together. And so if we go to a fixed style, it's not going to show. So let's go to logo. So that's just going to be fixed. It's just going to be a solid color. And then if we go to cycle, it's going to cycle through all the colors. You can change the speed and the brightness on that. You can do breathing where you choose a color and it just kind of goes in and out. Your screen sampler is going to be, you can choose what corner you want. So if I want that corner, it's actually going to show the same color or very similar to that, which is really nice. And then audio visualizer is going to flicker and just kind of move to the beat of like any bass that you set up. So that's really nice as well. So moving on, you have your assignments right here. These are all your button layouts that you can mess with. Not anything that you haven't really seen before when it comes to mouse software. You can do up to 5 profiles, by the way. So that's really nice. It has memory of up to 5 profiles. You can set your macros. You can even have OBS shortcuts built right into it, which is awesome. And then we go to the sensitivity. I play at 400. The yellow is going to be your DPI shift. So that's when you hold this down. And whatever that yellow number is going to be, that's what it's going to replicate when you're playing a game. Okay? And if I want to change from 400 and 800, then I would just hit those buttons. But instead it went backwards. But yeah, that's really it on the software itself. And of course, your polling rate, always keep at 1,000 if you can. Nothing really too special. It's really the same stuff we've already been accustomed to with the G502 in the past. But again, it's called the Hero with the new Hero sensor. All right, guys. Well, that does it for me for the overview. As far as a review on what I think you should do with this mouse is, if you're already comfortable with the G502 and the weight and the shape, and you really love it, then rock it. Get the new sensor, stay up to date on the latest technology. I just hope in 2 years when Logitech decides to update this again, that we get a wireless one. Just like, you know, one of my favorite YouTubers, Random Frank P, he even requested it. It's one of his favorite mouse. And when I saw the listing on Reddit, I really thought they were going to go for a wireless one. Just wasn't the case. And what they were able to accomplish with the G Pro wireless, I see no reason why they can't just fit it in there. SteelSeries did a great job with the Rival 650 with making sure that the Rival 600 shape remains the same, but with that wireless technology incorporated. So Logitech, let's make it happen. This is one of your, you know, tried and true mice. I know you don't want to change what's not broken, but it's 2018. You are the #1 hardware manufacturer pushing wireless mice. I think you can definitely do it. But that does it for me. Make sure you guys leave a comment if you have any questions on it at all. Oh, last but not least, the price. The price on this guy is actually, I can't believe I never even looked it up. I'm crazy. $79.99. So really the same price that we've always had with the G502 in the past. So it's not anything crazy. It's a very well built mouse for $80 for sure. So again, like the video if you do like it, and leave a comment. If I did a crap job on this, then please let me know. I'm an up-and-comer on YouTube, so I definitely want to hear that criticism on what I can do better. All right, guys, until then, I'll see you guys later.